Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nola Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me, it's the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you, man. Hope you're doing all right and having a good week.
I am doing well. I almost forgot to unmute the mic, so I was gonna start going like this, and no words were coming out of my mouth. But we're good. We're good. We're live. We figured this out. It's only been 8 years.
Right.
We're getting
We're
there.
still learning how to podcast.
We're getting there.
We're still rookies.
Yeah, we're still rookies.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah,
Hey, you gotta play producer. You gotta play producer when there's no one. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
It's a good time.
Appreciate it. How are you, man?
I'm good. We were just talking offline. I give a little update on a couple stuff been watching. I think last week I mentioned the Creature Commando show that I was watching and I finished it. It's only 7 episodes. I thought it was 8. It was actually only 7. And they're like maybe like 30-ish minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Easy to binge through. And I just felt like I needed to watch this considering that Superman's coming, and technically it's like the first part of this whole chapter 1 Gods and Monsters that James Gunn is referring to as this new slate of the DC cinematic universe. So I finally got to get through it, and I will say, like, although it is not personally my cup of tea, just like the stylization of it, there is some really good things that they do in the show. Like they take an opportunity where almost each episode highlights a different monster. In essence, it's a part of the Commandos, so it does a good job of building backstory and not just doing some random stuff. But the overall mission, to be honest, felt very lackluster for them. Like a Suicide Squad type characters. I mean, they really are basically the Weapon X team. With Amanda Waller, commissioning them. It's just, instead of doing the Suicide Squad, you just do monsters in this kind of way, and you would expect it to have like this, like, we need these guys. They're expendable. Like, it's gonna be a mission that's gonna be really high stakes, and it felt to me like, meh, okay, cool. And it doesn't feel like it adds on to anything of what they are going to be doing live action. However, I still feel like because of the inclusion of live action characters, you get your first look at like a Batman, things like that, that I could see them nodding and winking, since James Gunn did write the show. But anyways, yeah, got to see it. I'm glad I got to see it. I think I'll just be more observation, see what they do in the future, but I'm not sure if they announce a second season or not. But anyways, definitely not as good as Invincible. Like Invincible, that show is. Yeah. I did not expect that. When I finished all 3 seasons, I was like, okay, I understand it now. I get it.
Right.
And then the other thing that I got to catch is Ironheart. That's the one thing a lot of people have been asking me about. Those that know that I'm into this.
It's been, from what I've seen, it's mixed. It's either good or it's the worst Marvel TV show. Where you stand?
It's not the worst Marvel TV show, but it's not even the best or mediocre. It's on the bottom tier. Like, I think it's better than Echo so far.
Okay.
I think Echo was that started off strong, and for me really fell off really hard. Obviously Agatha I never watched, so I don't want to say anything about it. Some people said that it was great. I just didn't see it. Didn't care. But I don't think that it's like, we're talking like your Lokis and WandaVisions. People say, oh, it's really good. It's not, not even close. It's not even close to mediocre at that, to be honest. And the show's not done. Maybe I'm saying all of this, and there's only 3 episodes left, and maybe out of nowhere it's gonna take a twist and I'm gonna love it. But right now, I think I can give you some core reasons. Like, your first 3 episodes, you're halfway through the season. And I'm just about done with the 3rd episode. But understandably, there is some type of groundwork of, now that she's no longer helping the Wakandans, and you're in that in the Wakanda Forever movie, she's in her own world. She's an MIT student. She's on the Stark program, internship, all comic book accurate, cool stuff. And then the show just takes a full twist and turn. It's like, she's just not doing a good job because she's doing all of her work to to just build this suit. but her motivations, and I'm not gonna get into spoiling the show for people who haven't seen it. This is just impressions, and then what I'm saying isn't spoilery, to be completely honest with you. But her entire reasoning for even why she's building the suit is extremely selfish. There's no like heroic motivation behind it, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
Like there's nothing that's like very admirable and makes me excited. Like Tony Stark built a suit because he was going to be killed by terrorists in a matter of days. Like the dude was going to be killed.
Like
and he's like, I'm going to build.
Yeah.
He had to escape. Like,
yeah.
his friend just got
Arguably,
killed.
the Mark II was like, oh, this is like a fun thing that I can do, right? But then he turned it into Iron Man proper. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's an inventor, but like he was forced to invent. Her situation, it's like, I'm building this because I want to prove I can do it. And let me go ahead and like ruin my education. Let me go ahead and join up with like bad people, like working with these people to get money to go ahead and fund this project that only brings self gratification. It's not like she's trying to go out in the streets and save kids or something. Like that's not even like there's like no conversation around that.
What the heck, man?
And I'm like, this is supposed to be a superhero show. It's not even like she's a villain, presenting like a hero. She's just a person that's like super smart with these things, and is not really doing anything that's like extra special. So it's hard for me to connect to the character that way. I think the actress is really committed to it, and I like her a lot. I think she's got a good charisma.
Right.
But I'm just disappointed that they're not giving a stronger basis there. Okay. And then even beyond that, there's some very major holes around. We've talked about this before, like when it feels like the story takes a backseat and there's maybe some other things that they're maybe trying to press on the forefront of it. So there's moments that I think that they have something kind of cool and they miss the mark because they're too busy trying to make sure that they get to this specific storyline that they want to have in the show that isn't exactly about Ironheart. It's just more about a specific purpose. Right. And I think if you can do these things in a way, like some people understand, you could have these points done in a way that's tasteful and very and furthers the story. But when you do it in a way that is just there, it kind of makes you scratch your head and go like, okay, I get it. Like, okay, it's there, but like, it doesn't amplify. It doesn't. So there's already a weak foundation. It's not going further. Like I you know, there's I'm not gonna spoil, but there's something to do with an AI character that is in the show. And those you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. And there's huge holes around this AI, like huge holes around how this AI works. It's specifically a moment where the AI does not work. That doesn't make any sense because they're making it almost like it's like a human, but like it's a computer. Like it wouldn't just stop unless it glitches. Like there's like a lot of issues around that. If you haven't watched it, it doesn't make sense. But if you watch it, you'd be probably pretty disappointed too. So, yeah, I'll keep watching. You know, hopefully it does have something cooler to it. But I asked our guy that we know that has a connection at Marvel,
right?
And he just his friend said, "I'm sorry, it's not that good because, in his opinion, this character was already a smaller character in a movie, and so they didn't really have too much to work with. They just kind of came up with their own thing. Exactly, no one asked for it. So like if no one asked, like to be fair, you can do something no one asked for and do it in a good way. Like I joke about Andor. Like years ago, asked me, I was like, I didn't ask for this show. I like Rogue One. I don't really care about this. Ended up being one of the best things Star Wars has done in years. I was like, okay, it's
versus
cool.
Boba Fett that like no one was asking, and it was not great.
Some people did.
Yeah, some people did. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna check it out or not. I may just watch the low lights and see what's up.
Yeah, you could probably, honestly, that's probably the best case so far.
Okay. Yeah, I do promise, Joel. I did try to catch Captain America over the weekend because he's on Disney Plus, and I totally forgot about it. It's like the weekend came and went, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to watch this thing. So
don't get to see it.
I'll get it. I'll get to it. Yeah, no, nothing new on my end. I keep still. I don't know if I mentioned it. I may have mentioned it a couple weeks ago. That been watching Naruto with my daughter, so we're in season 2.
Oh no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we're in season 2 still. I mean, we still got not 8 seasons to go on the first season, on the first show, and then Shippuden and Boruto after that. So we still have a long ways to go. That's gonna keep us entertained until the dub for My Hero Academia last season comes out sometime in November-ish, maybe. It's because that's coming out in October. I do want to go out of my way. I'm gonna see if I can go in October for Demon Slayer. I heard the movies.
Okay.
I heard the movie's gonna be like 2.5 hours long, so it's basically a season. Because it's like, yeah. So I do want to go out of my way to, and go to the theater and watch it because that show's so good. Like that is we'll get into. I have a surprise topic for you, Joe, and we'll get into that, right? And this is part of it. You can see in today's title, and then that separate conversation. I promise I'll clip on a separate video. That way it's out there because it's a topic that I really want to talk about. I think it's long overdue that we actually talk about it. But I bought a few things. I forgot to grab 2 of them, but I did get I found a really good. I want to say one in really good condition. It's a Saturn 3D controller. So the controller with the analog stick to there's a handful of games and Nights into Dreams that use that controller. So it has an analog stick and it has analog triggers on it. So I found one at a decent price from Japan, and I ordered that came in, and I have something else coming from Japan. I'll show it when it comes in because if it's in good shape, it's one of the most beautiful video gaming accessories ever. But I probably have the second. I've been wanting this, Joe, for 25 and a half years.
Oh my.
It is the Dreamcast.
Oh wow.
Green Goblin arcade stick. I love it. I love it. So long overdue, man, because I mean the Dreamcast, I love the Dreamcast so much. But that controller is awful to play fighting games. So I mentioned that I went to Arcade Monsters a few weeks ago, and then I was like, oh man, I should look into getting the Dreamcast stick. And I found this one, really good shape. Like it's not yellowed.
Yeah.
The stick's a little wobbly. I ordered a new spring for it, so I'll fix that spring. And but I don't want to mod it because I don't want to. This is not for me to play competitively or anything like that. This is for me just to have fun with the Dreamcast, and it's in great shape. I mean, everything works great. I have my VMU in here. I may get another VMU just because I have a VMU and I have a MacCats memory card, but I want another, like a separate VMU. But this thing is great. It works really good. I mean, it took me a little bit to get used to the little wobbliness of the stick, but like I said, I ordered a new spring. It's probably gonna come in sometime next week. But then when the one for the Saturn comes in, I'll show it. And that one's I'm really excited about that one because I just love that whole design that Sega had going on in the mid 90s when it comes to the arcades. But this is very close. It's actually very comfortable. And I really do like it. I mean, I wish the only thing that's missing that I wish it had is turbo buttons. It doesn't have turbo buttons, but no rust. Look at this now. Look, no rust on the plate.
Beautiful.
No
Beautiful.
Yellowing. Man, and I'm like I said, I'm not gonna mod it other than the spring because it's the little loosey goosey as they call the stick. But I love it. It's in great shape, and yeah, man, Dreamcast is great. It's underrated for sure. Not too much going on this week, Joel. Death Stranding 2 came out today, officially. Came out Tuesday if you pre-ordered the digital deluxe version. And reviews are in, and it's sitting at a comfortable 90 on Metacritic. So I am going to get this game. I really love the first one. The first one was so good. I was talking to someone at work today, and I was like, oh man, I want to get Death Stranding 2. And the person asked me, I was like, oh, I never played the first one. I saw it, and I just didn't know what the game it really is. And it's like, oh man, it's hard to explain what it is because it's like, people say that it's a delivery person simulator, but it's really not, right? It's like, and I couldn't describe it to him, and then the way that I could best describe it is a puzzle platformer action game that looks really nice. has a really good soundtrack. So no, I'm looking forward to checking it out, Joel. There's a new final trailer that came out. I'm not watching it. I'll play the game, right? Unfortunately, that it's probably going to be a little bit on the back burner because I have I want to say about I'm halfway through Metaphor. I'm like 40 hours in, so it's like halfway through. And my daughter asked me about It Takes Two. And because she saw it somewhere, it's like, oh, there's this game called It Takes Two. It's like, oh yeah, I have it. It's on PS Plus. It's like, oh, you want to play it? It's like, she's like, yeah, let's do it. So
Nice.
so she's like, okay, well, after you finish Metaphor, we'll play It Takes Two. It's like, so okay. So after I'm done with Metaphor, I'm gonna check out It Takes Two with her, and then I got Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. I found a deluxe edition or collector's edition, whatever it was. So I found a copy of that. It's back here. It's still unopened. So I really really want to check that one out. And then after that, after I'm good with that, I'll let everything simmer, and then I'll get Death Stranding, because then we got Metal Gear, we got Ghost of Yotei coming out in October, and then after that is, I mean, GTA maybe, I don't know, probably not. And then I know you're it piqued your interest, so
Yeah, that might be the one. We'll see.
yeah. And then whatever comes out, right? It's like, I know that Marvel Tokon, whenever that comes out, I'm gonna get it, right? There's like no going around it. It's one of those like must guest scenarios for me. But yeah, man, yeah, Death Stranding 2 doing pretty good, man. I don't know if you have anything else to close for Mr. Kojima here.
No, I mean, I know this is more your right up your alley, and once we got away from Metal Gear and Death Stranding 1 being one of the biggest like Kojima projects, once he moved on from that, and now continuing on that there's a second one. I'm curious, like, I just want to see you actually play it and see
Okay.
what you have to say and see how you love it. But
Yeah, I'll
I
check
think
it
the
out.
reviews are great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Anything that this guy puts his hand to, for the most part, tends to be
Yeah.
good work. There's a trend.
I may wait it out until there's like a updates, because I know that
Yeah.
the director's cut that was released for PS5 for the first game, I heard that was much better than, you know, and the game was already great. So in my opinion, so I may, yeah, like I said, I may let it simmer and see if there's any updates or anything that's added onto the game, and
Yeah.
and go from there. Yeah. But we do have some Marvel news, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's been reported by several outlets, but it's something we had speculated on before, but it seems to be all but confirmed that Jake Schreier is indeed going to be directing the new X-Men film for the MCU, and that's huge. That there's already a director attached to it. Obviously, for a long time, people had speculated that the Russo brothers would take on the project. There's been many other directors rumored, but with the success of Thunderbolts, it's no surprise considering that Jake Schreier would get the opportunity to go in and direct this. Now, the different places had said it. Then also with the Ironheart press tour, one of the media guys asked Coogler, like, "Hey, are you doing X-Men?" And he was like, if they offered you, would you do? And he's like, no, that's Jake's project. So he basically
Oh, okay.
confirmed even himself. Yeah, like, I know my friend. He's like, no, my friend Jake's doing it. Like, okay, cool. So that's interesting. Now when he was asked about it by Collider's reporter Stephen Weintraub, he said, even if I were confirmed on that project, I don't think I'd be allowed to answer the question. I guess what I would say is it always starts from a character and working with great writers and collaborators, and start thinking about how to say something different with any project you take. More, that's as much as I can say. So he's basically, it's like, yeah, I'm not telling you no, but I can't say for sure. But writers and these people involved. So I don't even know that he's gonna be writing it necessarily. He might just be directing it. I'm sure the bones of it's coming together and contracts are being written. That's probably why I can't say.
Right.
And I also think that San Diego Comic-Con is probably where you would have had that announcement. Obviously, Marvel Studios is not going to be there. So there's probably a lot of stuff Marvel's working on right now that like they just aren't ready to say. Maybe it would be more D23, which would be like August. I think that might be
Right.
the timing that you start to get a little bit more of these kinds of confirmations. But yeah, obviously having that I've seen Thunderbolts, I am happy with this. Would I say that this is like makes me confident that X-Men's suddenly a good movie? No, I think the casting is going to be just as important. Like Thunderbolts works really well just because of the directing. Directing probably is a huge aspect, so I'm not taking away from it.
Right.
But like Florence Pugh absolutely crushed it as Yelena in the movie, and everyone else involved in the project did too. So you gotta give credit to the actors, and you gotta get a really good A-listers to work with him on this, and of course the writers too. But we're taking a step in the right direction. I don't know if you have anything to add or any thoughts on this.
No, I mean he clearly nailed the ensemble movie, so that's
Yeah.
it's a natural pick to
Right.
helm the next whatever X-Men universe will be. We'll find out soon enough. By the way, I didn't add it on the notes, but did you catch the last trailer for Fantastic Four?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. It's a good trailer, but they're showing me too much.
They're showing too much. Yeah, that's the same
showing
thing.
too much.
That's how I felt.
I start to think too much, and I'm putting things together.
Yeah, and but it looks good though. It looks so good. Yeah, it looks really good. I am still very cautiously optimistic for that movie, but I mean, my optimism has gone up a couple notches since like the last two trailers. So
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay, Joe. I think you'll be fine.
I think so too.
I don't think you're gonna get Joe crashing out here on the podcast talking about the movie.
Yeah, I made it clear. If they ruined this one, that would be the one that'd be Mr. Feige. We need to have a conversation.
Wow. Well, do you see that? And that's
one.
another one. Did you see that Kevin Feige is looking for a successor? That he wants to retire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
told
Bob?
you. I think
Eric?
Secret Wars is the one you go out on.
Yeah.
If you're like, what other stories do you want to tell? Now that there's more stories to tell, but what stories do you like as a creative in that sense?
Yeah.
That might be the one to say it's been great. Now,
Yeah.
I wish, I think you and I talked about this on the show, if he was to move on, I kind of wish that he would say, let me go over to Star Wars. Like, let me finish this out and slowly transition over there.
Oh, you know what?
But they're not going to do that. Like, I wish they, because I think that's a lot of heavy task for someone like him to step in. It's wishful thinking, but I wish that would be the case.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It's like, hey, you know what? Trying to make the best of it. Yeah. No, the rumor that's been floating around is that Bob and that Judge Tamara is going to be Bob's successor for CEO, which we kind of predicted that. I want to say a couple of months ago, beginning of the year, maybe. Yeah,
You saw the pictures of Josh at Epic today?
I did. Yeah. I saw that.
Taking selfies of people, walking around, just chilling.
Man.
Not hiding it. He's at Epic.
Yeah. And I think that there's, from what I've seen at the Disney parks this year, other than Magic Kingdom, it's not too busy. I mean, there's Epic Universe going on, right? And there's other things happening in the United States that are,
Yeah.
So, not too busy over at the Disney parks, but now that I feel like, my feelings on this subject have been cemented. It's like everyone hates the new Epcot. And I said it, and everyone hates it, man. Did you see the lights at Epcot?
No.
So you know that they put those lights around the planter that turn on at night?
Yeah.
So they closed them off because they were poorly constructed. So when water seeped in from rain and the light actually like popped out of the ground, so people were tripping over them.
Man, they spent like so much money.
$100 million on this thing. On a
gazillion trillion dollars. No, sorry.
$100 million on a planter, dude.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's tough, dude. And some
man.
terrible music.
That's tough.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
We'll see. hoping the best for the guys over at Xbox. Rumors are that there are major layoffs coming up soon, so it's a rumor, nothing confirmed, but
Time for reputable places.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want. I'm not celebrating because it's not fun, right?
No.
But clearly, Xbox is moving in another direction. Like they probably a lot of these people are probably going to be people, hold over from Activision and all these other companies that they acquired that they no longer need. I don't know if you saw that Hellblade 2 is coming out in August for PS5. They announced that.
Yeah.
Yep. So, clearly they have their vision changed, and whatever their vision is, they're gonna make it happen, and they're gonna do their thing now. So, they are embarking on a new direction, which I think could be beneficial for them, right? Because by putting their product everywhere while maintaining the product, I think it's a good move. If you would have asked me, right, back in the day, and I cannot compare this situation, right? Again, going back to the Dreamcast, that I think Sega could have gone that direction. It's like, hey, let's go ahead and put our games on this, everything else, and let's keep the Dreamcast alive until we can, and and then that's it. But they were like Sega was in like $500 million of debt at that time. So it's not the same thing when you're sitting on that pile of cash in your Microsoft and you can make this choices, right? It's a completely different scenario, because I've seen a lot of people comparing Sega with Xbox, and it's like you cannot even remotely compare the two situations. It's completely different. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, man. I want to talk about something long overdue, and want to talk about it because I've seen it trending a lot in short form social media videos, and I think it's a topic that everything that we talk about here in all the time, it's affected by this thing, and even further down, going to music and more stuff. But that's a completely different conversation. We can probably talk about it too. But Joel, I want to talk to you about gatekeeping. I want to talk to you about gatekeeping, and I want to have a conversation with you about it. So, I think the reason I want to talk about it is, I guess you're not allowed to have fun. If you're having fun in a different way that I am having fun, you suck. And that's not the right way to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, but you're using the wrong controller, right? That sort of thing. It's like you can't play a fighting game without a fight stick. That you can't play retro games without a CRT, right? Like all that stuff. So you can't watch Thunderbolts if you didn't watch 24 other movies before that, and 14 shows. And yeah, man. How about just freaking have fun, man, and let people do their things their own way. I agree that there could be potentially better ways of doing certain things, right? If you have the resources to buy yourself a $800 gaming monitor, and you can plug in your PS5 to it and play on a gaming monitor with low latency, awesome, right? But if all you have is your Hisense TV, and and then that's all you got to play your games, you're having fun, it's whatever, right? So I just want to get your opinion on that. And we never like fully talked about it, like not even offline, right? Um,
Yeah.
and and I think the reason that irks me is because I see a lot of it, like younger people talking about it. It's like, oh no, you're doing it the wrong way. It's like, but like, bro, I was in the trenches, bro. Like you are enjoying anime because I was renting the VHS tapes from Blockbuster. Like
What's a VHS tape?
I was scouring Sam Goody for DVDs back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And buying Dragon Ball and Gundam DVDs at Sam Goody. That's why you can enjoy anime today. Like you can enjoy video games I don't know, like Sonic, because we all bought Sonic back in the day. Like we were there, right? And as someone that was there, and back then there was no sort of gatekeeping. It was all on the contrary. It's like, yo, you like anime? Let's go. It's like, what do you like? Oh yeah, I like Dragon Ball. I was like, oh no, I like this weird other like witch girl thing, but it's cool, right? We'll talk about it, right? And back then it was like that because it was just a few of us. It was just a few of us out there, and you had to create your group to be able to share these experiences. And then you start as like, oh man, I got you this like bootleg like VHS tape that my cousin found somewhere, and there's some cool like Gundam stuff that doesn't come out here, and you watch it and you enjoy it, right? So like a lot of this stuff that geek culture enjoys today, it's because back in the day we accepted everyone that wanted to come in and be part of that community, and not put gates over it. Like, oh, you want to enjoy gaming? Yeah, let's go to the arcade, right? It's like, oh, let's get you a console. It's like, hey, you want to borrow my console? That's how you lose your games, right? It's like, and it's true, and it's true. It's true. Like, it's like, oh, I don't know if I should buy a Sega. I was like, oh, I'll lend you my Sega games so you can see that they're awesome, right? And that sort of thing. Like that back in the day, that was like you would embrace everyone that wanted to share your passion, right? But now we see like, oh no, like I don't want to play with you because you only play 2K and Call of Duty on a TV, and you need to have a DualSense Edge on a gaming monitor if you want to play 2K with me, man, right? That sort of thing. And play anything with me. It's like, oh, you're gonna play Street Fighter with the regular DualSense? No, man. You gotta spend $400 on this Comba, pro desk setup here. That's crazy, right? If not on a hitbox, it's like you're gonna play against me with a pad, bro. I got a hitbox, so that right, and then we go back to like Marvel, right? It's like, what the heck, man? It's like we go watch the thing. It doesn't matter. Again, like Marvel is it's what it is today because we were the ones that knew. I was the one that knew who flipping Iron Man was, and I was there that opening weekend for the first Iron Man, going like, yo, Iron Man, let's go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. But man, I can keep going, but I'll let you go for a bit.
Well, no, I'm glad you opened it up, and I think it's a very good actually discussion. Like this is one of those things that like we could have like multiple discussions on, because when you started off and said, hey, I want to have a conversation around gatekeeping, and particularly how it affects like the gaming industry, fandom, and obviously it affects other things, but like just kind of keeping it to like what our show usually talks about. And even in that, there's a whole, once you start off, I was like, oh, but which way are we going? Because there's a whole lot of ways you can cover it.
Right.
Because gatekeeping goes into a lot of things. It goes into like elitism, or it can go into the stage of simply saying like, bandwagoning, which is to me is not the same as gatekeeping. A lot of people, have a different way of viewing that, which I'll talk about in a second here. But in general, I think that a lot of people fall into the trap of gatekeeping because they sometimes they confuse fandom with being it's the most respectful way, cultish. Like you
Right.
know, when you look at definitively and you do a true study on like cult mindset, and without going into the deep on the weeds, but like these are people who, connect on a particular type of ideology, and they feel like they are special, they're better than everybody else because they have a knowledge of something or they understand something that no one else does, and so their ways make them like, more impactful, more knowledgeable than other people, and that everyone else outside of them doesn't have it right, and that they're just the only ones that are right. And that can translate a little bit sometimes into fandom, where some people I think gatekeep because they want to have that sense of like, I am so special.
Right.
I know everything about I know everything about PlayStation, and you just got your first PlayStation last week. So therefore, I'm more special than you are. You're just a casual. I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm a real gamer. You're not.
Right.
And it becomes this way of belittling people and not being, instead of saying like, we can all have fun, we can all have our games, we can all have our different experiences. Instead, it says like, no, I'm real. You're not. Let's just look at it this way. That kind of mindset, actually, if that gets too prevalent and becomes the louder voice, which sometimes negativity can seem like the louder voice. I want to be
Right.
clear. It seems like a lot. It could be like 300 people on the internet barking about something, but 3,000 of these people saying that they're having a great time and they don't care. But those 300 people will be like, "Oh my gosh, it's so negative," and they spend all that time talking about it. And like, I think in general, just the gaming world, your comic book communities, fandom communities in that way. For the most part, I think when you actually go out and you actually interact with certain people, most of them will be very welcoming of just celebrating the very same thing you love. But you'll meet from time to time people who are a little strange, who will be very argumentative and not very open to just conversation about this in a way of love, but more of a way of like, this is what's this is the way that I see it, and no, and I'm the only one who's right. Like you said, oh, because I play this particular video game on this particular console and that this particular type of hardware, and I have this type of set, and you don't, so my experience is superior to yours. Like, you could be like, I have a real home entertainment system. I've got the Dolby surround sound system, and I've got this thing. And you watch this at home, you don't have the same experience I do. You're not wrong. The experience is definitely going to be different.
Right.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie to you
Yeah.
on that. But differences of experiences or difference of things doesn't make it a superior way. That's what I refer to as more of elitism. That I think it falls a lot of times into the majority of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
But on the bandwagon side, this is the part where I have a little bit of an understanding, because I think this is not. Some people think it's gatekeeping, but it's not. This is the part I think you still have to be careful about. I think communities need to be careful how they operate on this. But I have an understanding of when people like, we both, maybe growing up were fans of a particular franchise. You were a fan of Metal Gear, right? And like, you've been playing it, and you told another friend, I really recommend you play this game. I think it's really great. You shared something that you love with the world. You were open about it.
Right.
This is something you enjoyed and you spoke positively of, and you were always a fan of it. And people are like, nah, man, those Metal Gear games are weak. I'd rather keep playing Call of Duty. Like, yeah, I don't know, right? Like, people, and then out of nowhere, another one of their friends is suddenly a fan of Metal Gear. They're like, maybe I should give this a try. And I know they're like, dang, this thing is amazing. And you're like, it's like Timon and Pumbaa, like the thing where it's like, Pumbaa would say one thing, and then when Timon said it, it's like, wow, that's like amazing. I never thought of it that way. It's like the guy just said that 3 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of that sometimes happens, where I think sometimes people, I can understand the frustrations where it's like, you're just jumping on this thing because of a particular influence, but you don't have the same love for this thing, that I have appreciation for this thing. And so it makes people feel a little bit like, not that you shouldn't be here, but it makes you feel like you're not as sincere about this. For example, like The Witcher, right? That gaming franchise, people love that thing suddenly when they made a TV show with Henry Cavill involved. because these people thought Henry Cavill was one of the best looking dudes on the planet, and he's on here, and all these girls like, this show is amazing. It's like, you didn't care 2 cents about The Witcher 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Like that's where I could talk about like a bandwagon thing versus like gatekeeping. But even in those
that could
things,
be different because that could be a gateway, right? Oh, I watched the show. Now I'm gonna go play the game, right?
You would hope you would encourage them to say, okay, maybe hopefully you'll actually go play the actual game. Like it's all about how we approach it as fans. We could be very bothered. We can be always just trying to keep it to ourselves, or we can try and share it with the community, the larger world. And I think that's the way we go. Anyways, I'm ranting. Obed,
no. No. All good, bro. It's, man, and I think what gets me is like people discover a new gaming franchise, right? And I'm going to give you the best example that I can give you because it's fresh in my mind and it's like, you know, happening right now as we speak. Final Fantasy. Like there's a lot of people out there that never played any Final Fantasy games, and the first Final Fantasy games they're playing is 7 Remake, 7 Rebirth, and 16. And then they, I love Final Fantasy, and then you know, they love Final Fantasy. They're buying the things, they're buying the merch, right, and they're playing the games, they're streaming, they're having a great time. But then you go down to the flipping comments, which is like, you know, I guess it's human nature, right? You want to hear different opinions and what people are saying. It's like, oh, you're calling yourself a Final Fantasy fan, and like you cannot call yourself a Final Fantasy fan until you played like the Japanese version of Final Fantasy V on the SNES. Right. Like the most obtuse version of Final Fantasy, like of any of the games, right? Like, like unless you play that one, like you can't just call yourself a fan. Like, bro, let people enjoy things. Right. Like, I bought this cool TV. Like, I bought this OLED. Like this, you know, 75-inch OLED cost me a ton of money to play PS5 Pro on it, right? Or whatever, play PS5, and it's super cool. Oh, that TV has 15 milliseconds of response time. You should have bought, an MSI, you know, gun maker or whatever the heck the gaming monitor is. 1440p, you get a millisecond response time. And it's like, oh, you're playing it wrong, man. It's like, no one's playing anything wrong.
Correct.
And it goes to like, the elitism that you were mentioning, right? Because there's these people, it's like, oh no, it's like, well, how dare you play Call of Duty on PS5 on a TV? I play Call of Duty with my 5090 card. Yeah. That's like $3,500 on my PC, and I have 4, 1 millisecond Dell, whatever the heck name is, you know, ultra sharp monitors, and that's the right way to play it. But then what happens when, you know, you got Jose down in South America, like they all they can afford, man, is their little like no brand TV, and you know, and last gen console. Because that's the reality of it, right?
But they're gaming.
They are gaming, and they're doing something they love. So are you more of a gamer, or more of a, you know? I was like, oh no, I'm better than this guy because I got the setup, and he's playing in his room with his no brand TV on his PS5, on his PS4, right? Like, guys, like it does. You know, at the end of it, and it goes, and the same thing with the retro gaming is that one's what gets me, right? Because I've been diving deep into retro gaming for the last, you know, year or so, and that's something we see. It's like, hey guys, I'm planning on getting an N64. What do you recommend? Oh, get a CRT. But then, fine, you can find a CRT cheap if you dig around like Facebook Marketplace and whatnot. You'll probably find one. You go to an estate sale, go to garage sale, you can probably find a CRT. But then it's like, oh yeah, I got my N64 and I plugged it into my TV and look, I'm playing. Oh, that looks terrible. Oh, you're not using, why are you not getting a RetroTink 4K? That's $700. to connect it to your TV so you can play N64 on it. It was like,
yeah.
Gosh dang it. It's like, why? There's like, please, like, let people enjoy their thing. Like, I found my childhood on 64 and I plugged it into the TV and look, and I'm playing. That's wrong.
Great.
You're not using a scaler, a proper scaler. You're not. Yeah. It's like, come on, guys.
Or like how you and I have had the conversation about like the arcade and like arcade games now starting to come back. Right. And some of these are like, you know, there's companies that are remaking these arcade games. Well, you didn't play it back in my day on the original. This is a modded new. This is not the same experience as what I had as a kid. Yep. You don't know what the real arcade games are like.
Right.
Come on.
You put an arcade one up, those buttons are trash.
Right.
I mean, they're not wrong, but. But hey, you know what, guys? I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Right? It's an easy mod. It's $30. You can swap all the buttons on the machine. It's fine. It's easy to do. but that's the thing, right? It's like, oh no, if you're not doing it this way, you're doing it wrong. Therefore, I am better than you. And you know. And it's across all hobbies, Joel. It's crazy. It's like, you mentioned the home theater. It's like, oh, you watched a movie on Disney Plus? No, man, I got the 4K Blu-ray and I got a $16,000 surround sound system that I can watch on it. That's awesome, right? It's like, well, you got a sound bar? What the heck is that, bro? It's like a sound bar. That's like the worst you can get. Yeah, and it's crazy, man. And it goes with like. That's the same thing. Like audio, like even audiophiles is even worse. It's like oh, you got those speakers, man. You should have gotten these other speakers. They're only like $28,000. You can just get them,
right,
dude, bro. All I had was like $250. It's like to buy everything, dude. I can't.
Sorry, man. I got bills to pay, bro.
I know. I should have gotten Wilson Audio instead of those clips from Best Buy. It's like, bro, that's all I got. It's like, I can't, man.
And I'm happy with it.
Yeah, exactly. They sound okay to me. That's all that matters.
Right? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
By the way, is that new lamp behind you on the show?
I moved it. It was on the other side.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like we're like the light in the dark side right now.
Oh yeah,
you're the Jedi, I'm the Sith.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go.
But
Rise of Skywalker.
Shirt on. I don't know.
Rise of Skywalker.
But like I've even joked. I've joked on the show, and I want to be clear. Like I think it's like fun, poking fun, but at the end of the day, I have friends that play all consoles, all different things.
Right.
Like. So I'm not like I don't mean this in a mean way, but like I've joked on the show for a while where I've been like, oh, your man's plays only Xbox and he plays, you know, Call of Duty. Like he's a casual. He's not a real gamer. Your man's is a casual. Like I've joked like that. Okay. Yeah. He's playing games. Let him play. Let him have his fun.
Right.
Like I'm not like just because he doesn't play, you know. Something that maybe I enjoy. Maybe he's never played The Last of Us, or maybe he's never, you know, played Uncharted. Like he's not played some of these like big legacy games that are on other devices, or he's never touched a Switch before, or thinks it's kiddie or something. But he's found a niche that he likes. Let him play.
Yeah.
I joke about like, oh, he's a casual on this, whatever. It's a joke, guys. Like I want to be clear. You play your Xbox, keep watching our show. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. You play only like, you know, Fortnite, bless you. Like keep playing Fortnite, keep having a good time. Fortnite's actually I think has done great things for the industry.
Yeah.
Like instead of being anti it, like we should thank it because it's helped been a gateway to get people to start getting back into the gaming as a new generation get into it and cross generationally and across the world and online gaming it's progressed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like doesn't mean that all these things are perfect. No, like there's as I think sometimes just because someone complains and they're in a fan community, that doesn't mean necessarily they're always gatekeeping. It just maybe sometimes it's because of something they're passionate about. They want to see something get better. But it's when we don't let other people have their experiences as well and let them enjoy what they're enjoying. That's when we become the villains.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you're in the, you know, and that's why I'm bringing it up, right? Because I've seen a lot of like uprising, like, oh yeah, like this is how I'm playing this game. This is my setup, right? And I was like, oh, it was like, why are you playing in a game? Why are you playing Call of Duty on a TV? It's like, why are you playing this game on a TV? Why are you doing this thing? It's like, why don't you have where's your CRT for your Super Nintendo? Why are you playing on a, and you know.
Where's your Alienware? Where's your headset?
Yeah,
Where's
exactly.
Like, all the things.
And that's the It's like, oh yeah, like I'm playing this on I'm playing this game on PS5. It's like, oh, I'm playing it on my 4060. Or not 4060. 4060 is like mid-range cheap now. Like on my 5090, bro. I have to put like a substation outside of my house to power this thing, and this thing is like a power hog, and yeah man. And like
even just like gender wise, the fact that you have a daughter and you have let her and she loves gaming and you've brought her into the midst and you're raising her to play these games with you, and you've bought her own console and these different things. Like that's even a part of like sometimes with gatekeeping that I've seen people do, where they're just like, oh, wait until I have a son and then he'll be a gamer like me. Like, what if your daughter wants to play the game? Let her play. Let her have fun
man.
if she wants to. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. But if she does, like, great. Like, I've seen guys do the stuff like, oh, my girlfriend doesn't understand. She doesn't know these games, whatever. Let me just be over here and go make me a sandwich. Like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing? We got to call it like we see it, man. It's crazy.
My 10-year-old daughter probably knows more about retro gaming than a lot of these dudes that are out here saying, oh, you need the monitor. You need the monitor, man.
You need the monitor.
Yeah. Like, cause she can tell you, like system startup sounds. Like she can tell you which came before this one and that. Bro, like
let her have her
she's
fun.
She's doing her thing, man. It's awesome.
She's enjoying it. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Like and she loves Mario and loves Nintendo and loves the thing, and
we love this.
We went back and played the old stuff, and she likes it, and then we could play new stuff. And you and me, man, like you and me have like vastly different we're different. Taste in gaming. Like if we like you're more of a 2K, Mario Kart, Crash Bandicoot kind of guy. I'm more of a Persona, Metal Gear, like this quirky, weirder stuff that's out there. And it doesn't matter, right? I'm not telling Joel that I'm not here as like, Joel, you're playing it wrong, man. It's like,
and I have great respect for you. I'm not like, oh, but only plays these games. He doesn't play these competitive. Like I absolutely have a lot of respect for you. I think it's awesome that we're able to share the things that we like in our own unique ways and have conversations about it.
Exactly.
I think it's good representation for our show and what our audience enjoys. Clearly, you guys being with us, I've enjoyed these discussions.
Right. And I can be, I'm going to be frank, right? And I'm like, I don't want to pat myself in the back or anything. Like I have the gaming monitor. I have the set. I have the surround sound system. I have the things, right? I would like for me, put me in the couch, give me a controller, and let me play PS5 on the big TV. I don't care if it has latency, whatever. I don't care, right? I want to be comfortable. I want to enjoy my sound. You give me my good headphones, right? It's like, as long as I have good sound, I'm comfortable. That's what I'm immersed. See, I'm more about immersion. I don't care about latency. I don't care about response time. Sit me down and have me immerse on your experience, right? That for me is more important. Like if I wanna play like ideally, right? If I were to like jump back into like fighting games, yeah, sure. Maybe try the gaming monitor and whatnot, but dude, everyone's playing on TV and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't freaking matter. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like some kid from Chile beat me up on Street Fighter a bunch of times. Like back in the day when I used to play Street Fighter on PS3, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of setup they have, but he probably didn't have like the gaming monitor and the fiber internet and all that.
You're right.
And he still beat me fair and square a bunch of times. So it is what it is, right? It's like, you know, just if you're happy doing it, no one can tell you how to. No one can tell you how to do it if you're doing it right for yourself. That's ultimately comes to that, right? And it's the same thing with like games. It's like, oh, like Call of Duty's trash. Like 2K's trash, like calling games trash. Okay, like there's some games that are arguably trash, right? I'm not gonna.
And there's arguments about why, you know.
Right. It's like there's like those like strange like if you go to the Switch the eShop and you see all this like you know what I'm talking about, right? You know, hot dog simulator and all this like stupid whatever the heck.
Hot dog simulator. No, I'm just kidding.
But you know, it's like your least favorite game is someone's favorite game. Like someone loves that stupid game that you hate. Like,
exactly.
Battletoads is trash. I know a lot of people that they love Battletoads. Right. Like, it was like Battletoads is the best game ever. I think Battletoads is arguably a bad game. Yeah. But there's people out there that love it, and that's fine, right? It's like GTA's never been my cup of tea. And people love it, and that's great, right? It's like Call of Duty. I know Call of Duty games are good, but not my cup of tea. But I'm not playing. But then, you know, I play Persona 5, whatever, and I love it. And there's people out there that's like, like it took 10 hours for me to actually like get started doing something. It's like, yeah, I know. I still had a lot of fun with it. You know, the game's 115 hours long, so it doesn't really matter to me. And then, you know, and you got to be able to also like be aware of the shortcomings. Like nothing's perfect, right? And you know, I can point out things in the story in Persona 5 that's questionable at best.
Sure.
And you got to be open to be able to criticize what you love. Is like, and that's why when we talk about She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk. We always go back to She-Hulk as the best example. When the first 2 episodes came out, we said, it's fun. When the rest of the show came out, it was like, it's trash, right? Yeah. And you got to be fair about it, man. And I think that, you know, gaming is as big as it's been ever. Like it's bigger than movies, bigger than music, right? It's been that way for many
combined.
Combined. It's been like that for many years.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like an old man, but you know, same thing with anime, right? It's like, what's your favorite anime? Oh, I love Demon Slayer, right? I freaking love Demon Slayer. I'm an old man. And I think
you're not that old,
bro. It's
joking.
It's one.
I don't go for the teenagers and stuff.
Like for me, like Demon Slayer is one of the best animes that I've watched, and I've watched a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think Attack on Titan to me is not only one of the best animes ever, it's one of the best TV shows ever. Period. To me, right?
Yeah.
And you like Demon Slayer? Man, no, you gotta watch this other like obscure thing. It's crazy, right? It's like, bro, let me enjoy Demon Slayer. Oh, you're watching Naruto as your kid? You should have watched this other thing. Don't care. Don't care. Just watching the thing that I'm watching. That's it, right? And you know we'll get to that eventually, if ever, right? You should have watched One Piece instead of Naruto. It's much better. It's fine. It's fine, right? Like I know I love Dragon Ball, and you know I love Dragon Ball. My kid loves Dragon Ball probably more than I do. We both love it.
She's your kid for sure.
Yeah. And I know, and I can point out that most of Dragon Ball, if they're not fighting, it's not that great. And I can point it out. It out, right?
Wow.
It's like, I'm a realist, right? And you gotta take those nostalgia glasses off. And it's like, retro gaming is better than gaming now. Really, man? Like, have you gone back and played some of these games? And like, you know, it's tough, especially going back and playing games without like quality of life features like like save points and checkpoints and all that. It's like, it's hard, and I know that there's people that still enjoy that, and that's great, right? I don't have the time for that. Like, give me something that I can manage. That's why it's really hard for me to go back to many of like the old NES stuff, like playing it on the NES. Like, I would rather play, like, this is me, Joel, that I was there with the NES and the Master System and, Super Nintendo year one and all that. To me, I would rather play NES and Super Nintendo games on the Switch, on the Switch Online, that I can do save state, and I can, freeze the game and I can suspend, than play it on the actual Super Nintendo or play it on the NES.
Right.
I would rather do that.
You're open-minded to this new thing.
Yeah, it's super convenient. I have the NES is still back here. It's plugged in and it's fine. I can play it every once in a while, but I would rather play Mario 3 on the TV than play it here, because on here I can do a save state over here every time I turn off the console. I have to start from World 1, right? So yeah, man, you gotta be more open-minded. I think people overall need to be more open-minded, and and we're talking about gaming and movies and whatnot, which is completely trivial, right? This applies to everything in life,
that
right?
Actually matters.
The thing that actually matters, this does apply to that, right? So
no, this is not heart surgery, guys. Like, this is
come on,
just video games.
We can apply it. We can apply it to that, right?
Chill out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the same thing with food, man. It's like when you go to this place that no one knows, it's like, oh, this little hole in the wall burger shop is awesome, and then you go a couple of months later and there's a huge line because people discovered it. Oh, I remember when I didn't have to make a line for this thing. What are these people doing here? Wow, it's the same thing, man. It's on everything.
Wow,
like
good.
It's like
that's good.
Like people gatekeep burger shops. It's like, it's stupid.
Every year I go to Comic-Con, it's the same thing. I remember when when you could walk up and buy a ticket the day of. Now, ever since Twilight, and it ruined everything, where people started sleeping outside and everyone had to line up, and there's 100,000 people here now. And I'm like,
I bet you've seen it. Yeah,
the fandom's grown.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, and I bet you've seen it. I mean, we've seen it with like how big conventions have gotten. Yeah. So, it is what it is, and you guys got to deal with it. And you got to be more open, and if someone wants to play 2K with you and they don't have a gaming monitor and a DualSense Edge, and they have a little TV from Walmart and just a regular controller, why not, right? Probably gonna get beat. That's probably why. You need all this other stuff because you're not good. You need that response time and the DualSense Edge because you're not good. And then
you need every advantage because you're not that good.
Exactly. Right? You need your headset because you need to be able to hear people coming, and your DualSense Edge because you got to map those custom buttons, and your low latency monitor because you can't see. I mean, I said it. Wow. I said it.
You said it.
If I'm not playing to be like, if I'm not training for Evo, let me play Street Fighter on my TV. I don't care, right? It's like if I'm training for Evo, I'm gonna get the Evo monitor just because I want to. It's a high stakes situation where I'm gonna win money, right?
Yeah.
If I'm home, if you're streaming and you have a bunch of stuff going on, if you're streaming and your PS5 is going through an Elgato, guess what? You already got latency. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Surprise.
It doesn't matter, dude. Yeah, man. No, I wanted to have the conversation with you, but like you said, we can revisit it for sure because it's it's a growing irk that I have.
Oh, for sure.
So, let's end it with that. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, sir.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you guys enjoyed our conversations today. We want to invite you to stay tuned, stay subscribed. We're on podcast platforms of your choice: Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music. Find us, subscribe to us. You also can subscribe to the video version if you're watching on YouTube. thank you. Subscribe to the No Load Time YouTube channel. Like the video, drop a comment, all the stuff the YouTubers always say, because that does help support our show. Additionally, you can follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. If you're watching a video version, you can see all the places we're at below. You can also support our show financially if you have the means to. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/no load time. That's patreon.com/no load time. As little as $1 a month, you could support the show. Shout out to producer Tony. Thank you for being with us. And of course, last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, you can send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, we'll even talk about what you've sent in on a future show. Thank you all so much, and we'll be with you next time.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. Don't gatekeep. We'll see you next time.